Hello, Tri-Cities, and welcome to the 2024 Vote for Business Candidate Forum, the only region-wide business-focused candidate forum in the Tri-Cities, brought to you by the Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce. In this forum, you will be hearing from candidates running for Franklin County Commissioner position number 2. I am Austin Reed, news anchor with Apple Valley News Now, Cap KVU ABC. I am pleased to be with you today. Voting begins as ballots start appearing on mailboxes and in mailboxes on October the 18th and will continue through Election Day on Tuesday, November the 5th. Thank you so much for joining us to learn about candidates' thoughts and positions on these issues that impact our local economy and business community. Now to the format. Each candidate will have 1 minute for opening and closing statements. The candidates will be asked the same questions. Response time for each question is limited to 2 minutes. Time limit reminders will appear on screen at 10 seconds remaining and, if necessary, when time is up. Since this is a forum rather than a debate, candidates will not be provided rebuttal time. We are now ready to get started. Let's begin by introducing, in alphabetical order, the two candidates in the race for Franklin County Commissioner position number 2. Challenger, Blanche Barajas, and incumbent, Rocky Mullen. Welcome to both of you. And thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. We appreciate both of you. So if you are both ready to go, let's get started. As mentioned, we will start opening statements in alphabetical order. So Mrs. Barajas, we will begin with your opening statement. You have 1 minute.
Thank you very much. My name is Blanche Barajas, and my goal as the next county commissioner is to ensure the quality of life that is sustainable and inclusive. My vision extends into revitalizing our infrastructure, the backbone of our community. My hope is to prioritize the more efficient systems for everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mullen. You now have 1 minute for your opening statement.
Hello, I'm Rocky Mullen. I am the current chair of Franklin County Commissioners, Commissioner District 2. I'm a lifelong resident of Franklin County. I've owned and operated several businesses. I have over 40 years of management and leadership experience. My family's been in the Franklin County since the 1940s. I grew up on the family farm. It's where I learned my work ethic. And like I said before, I started working for Safeway when I was 16, ended up moving on to be store manager. I went on to, I took the entrepreneurial leap in 1997, opened my own business, also have owned and started Green Shred, mobile document shredding, which I sold out to DeVries a few years ago. Me and my wife both owned and operated Dove Financial Services. We were a financial company, just recently sold that, and looking forward to being a voice for the people as I have in the past, and just want to portray I see it's time, my time is up, so thank you.
Mr. Mullen, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's move right into the question and answer portion of the forum. Now, a coin toss just prior to taping has actually determined that Blanche will answer the very first question. Subsequent questions will be alternated. So let's get going. Number 1, what background or experience qualifies you to understand and respond to the unique needs of the local business community?
Oh, well, thank you for that question. As mentioned before, I have been in council. I'm currently City of Pasco council member. I was elected in 2018. In 2020, I was elected as the mayor pro tem, and then in 22 as the mayor. My tenure as a council member and mayor for the City of Pasco have shown me the need for economic development by managing land wisely, supporting small businesses, and investing in our infrastructure. supporting small businesses. These are the backbone of our economy. Supporting the growth of our business district. As in my 7 years as a council member for City of Pasco, we've developed policies. We've advocated for a lot of change in the City of Pasco. As we all know, City of Pasco, the county entirely, is growing. We're busting at our seams. So we need to make changes that are cohesive with that growth, so that everyone has the services that they need, transportation, the infrastructure, like I said, that matches that growth.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mullen.
So my background is in management and business. So like I said before, I started working for Safeway when I was 16 years old, went on to become the store manager. Also was territorial sales manager for Bluebell potato chips for Eastern Montana. I started my own business with Green Shred, mobile document shredding, which I sold out to DeVries just a few years ago. And also me and my wife owned and operated Sahara Pizza. I had 5 locations, 3 in Tri-Cities, 2 in Northern Idaho. And also Dove Financial Services. We were a business factoring company. We bought receivables and we would pay them, basically pay them today, and we would wait to 30 days to get paid on accounts receivable financing. And that business alone, with our own money, was about $10 million in gross revenue every year. So as far as business experience, I know what it's like to own and operate a business. I know that the challenges that are put forward and the government regulations that take place that make it very challenging for businesses. And I believe that experience that I have in business and dealing with all these government agencies gives me a great voice for the local business community.
Thank you, Mr. Mullen. We are going to head to question number 2. What are the 2 most harmful issues affecting business in the Tri-Cities, and what will you do to correct or overcome them? Ms. Barajas.
Sure. I would say, obviously, housing and mental health are one of the 2 major needs that need to be addressed. As I mentioned before, the growth has happened so quick that we are in a housing crisis. Because of that, also job loss. Sorry, I was reading the comments, got distracted by the comment. Job loss and job creation. The other need is, again, the sustainable growth via supporting our infrastructure, supporting our small businesses. With a background, I as well have a background in business administration. I have a micro business myself, and I'm an executive director for a nonprofit. So seeing all the need in the community for the essential services, mental health, housing, again, we're in a crisis to where we need to continue advocating. We need to look into the services that will help build and support the growth that is currently happening in the county, by making sure that we're supporting our local small businesses, by making sure we have growth, sustainable growth via, are we, giving out grants to retain the businesses, to make sure that businesses can stay open and be sustainable and provide a revenue for the county. One of the major issues is that there's a budget crisis currently in the county. And so to help mitigate that, to help dissipate that situation, we can only do that by supporting our residents, by supporting our local business, by supporting the businesses to continue functioning. They're the ones that need the services. Our residents need the services as well. Mental health, like I mentioned, job crisis. We just heard about the Lamb Weston closing, so that's going to impact a lot of lives, a lot of livelihoods. And so we need to definitely address these issues and support our residents.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mullen.
So probably two of the biggest issues right now that facing businesses are, I would say, the increase in minimum wage makes it very difficult for restaurants. Everything with inflation growing so rapidly, trying to stay up with the minimum wage and still provide services and the hours to the employees. It's very difficult for a business to keep operating with these increases. And then also with the just legislation that's being done on with certain agencies. Let's say L&I as an example, that is passing laws and making RCW codes that businesses have to follow, but these laws are being put in place without legislation, and I think that is wrong. We need to get control of these agencies and let the people decide what laws are going to be enacted. This increases such a burden upon businesses to be able to operate with all these regulations that are being put on place with them. And then, of course, the mental health and homelessness is not it's not beneficial to businesses. We've enacted the 1%, 1/10 of 1% for the Mental Recovery Center to help with this crisis that we are in with the homelessness and the mental health issues that are facing us. And we just need to be, more active in that area so that we can get these people the help they need and clean up our streets so that businesses can stay open. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We're going to move on now to the next question. And the two next questions, Mr. Mullen will actually go first now. So we'll head back to you, Mr. Mullen. What can county government do regarding tax and regulation that will promote and foster our region as a smart place to do business?
Well, like I said before, we need to get control of, or not get control, but there needs to be limits put upon L&I when they're passing these laws without any legislation, and that is wrong. We need to be business friendly, and we just need to do everything we can to help business get started and keep them operating. There are agencies out there, let's say for like the Lamb Weston employees that are just been laid off, that there are groups out there that will be reaching out to try to find them placement for other jobs. But tax and regulation, you can only tax the citizens so much before there's no incentive to keep staying in business. And I think we're reaching that point. We cannot continue to raise taxes. People simply can't keep paying this increase. And when you go to the grocery store and a bag of groceries is $100 and your wages haven't increased, and simply the businesses are struggling to stay afloat, and we just need to limit our taxes and take control of our spending to make sure that it's fiscally responsible.
Thank you. Ms. Barajas.
Yes, I feel that, and we keep talking about this fiscal, financial sustainability, and we can only achieve that by continuously adopting policies and strategies to, standards for investment to assure that there's consistent long range planning. As far as taxing, I believe that open communication forums, connecting with the community, getting input directly from the community as far as the services that are out there, lack of services. Our community, our residents are the ones that can help us dictate how we're going to impose, I wouldn't say impose, but how we're going to regulate taxes. There's a lot of policies. There's an infrastructure that requires these taxes. we don't want to raise more taxes. Obviously, I've been hearing from a lot of community members that they're paying a lot in property taxes, for example. But what is the long range planning? We need to include updated impact fees, area fees for specific infrastructure. We need to adopt measures that relate to the new developments. And so all these factors can come in and blend in to make it to where we're not taxing more than what we should, but we're also creating revenue from the new business, from the new housing that should be going up. Um, we can plan for sustainable taxing to create again a quality of life to where people are not living paycheck to paycheck, to where it's compatible and comparable across the state. Citizens of Franklin County should be considered again when new taxes are being brought up.
All right, thank you very much. We have another question. This is actually our final question. How can Franklin County effectively tackle the mental health and substance abuse issues that are currently in our region? Mr. Mullen, we'll begin with you.
So being proactive, 2 years ago, we did pass the 0.01% tax for the Mental Health Recovery Center. This was a much needed center that it can't be built fast enough. That 0.1% tax raises about $3.5 million a year, and actually a little bit more than that. I believe our current budget is we've collected close to $10 million, and now we have allocated some of that money to Benton County so that they can start with the improvements that are needed on that building. So there's just it's a godsend. I mean, we just can't wait for the recovery center to get open. It can't be open fast enough. So I think that is such a great step in the right direction, because one way or another, we are going to pay for the problems that we have with addiction here in Franklin County. We need to get our streets cleaned up. We need to find treatment for all these people that need it, and the need has been there way too long, and we should have addressed it earlier. And like I said, the recovery center, it cannot be built fast enough for me. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Barajas.
Absolutely. The recovery center has the conversations for this building has been happening for several years. I agree. It needs to happen now. We absolutely need the facilities. But the way to address this, the way to help mitigate the issues brought on by homelessness, drug addiction, mental health, all of this is by having the right people sitting at the table, having the conversations, collaborating with organizations that are already offering services, working together and legislate for better services for our region. Again, we are working on this. Mr. Mullen mentioned the tax, but that's not going to help bring the building on any sooner, any quicker. So we definitely need to collaborate with agencies that are already working on mental health, detox, all these services. All these services together can help reduce homelessness. Unfortunately, that's something that's not going to go away, but we can definitely address it by having the right people at the table to help with the services, outreach into the community to those individuals that are in crisis, outreach to the individuals that are going through a mental health crisis. Again, having the right people at the table, having the right policies, having the right individuals to help legislate for change in laws, change in policy, again, to benefit and help reduce the situation. It's something that affects the entire community, the entire state, and the only way, again, is collaborating with each other.
Thank you very much to both of you. This actually closes the question and answer period. We will end the forum, though, with closing statements. Ms. Barajas opened. We will begin with closing statements with Mr. Mullen. Mr. Mullen, you have exactly 1 minute.
All right. Well, it's been my honor to be the Franklin County Commissioner for District 2 for the past 3.5 years. It's been a learning experience. It's been a great experience, and I love Franklin County. Been born and raised here my whole life. So I have deep roots here. I appreciate your vote. The years of experience in management and leadership that I have, I think are beneficial for the commission. We have 3 individuals on there with 3 different inputs as far as experience and background. And I believe that we are very cohesive. I believe that we have a very good relationship working with Benton County. And that I think is crucial as far as getting everything started with the Recovery Center. I just appreciate the vote, and I encourage everyone to get out and vote. I ran in 1996, and that race was decided by 7 people out of 29,000 votes that were cast. Came down to 13 votes that separated it. So again, I can't encourage people enough to get out and vote so that your voice can be heard. I will be a voice for the people, am a voice for the people. So any concerns you have, please bring them to me, and I will stand up for your rights. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Barajas, you have 1 minute now for your closing statement.
Thank you very much. Again, I just want to mention that as a current city council member, I have seen the growth for the city and for the county. My vision is to embrace innovation. We need to promote sustainable growth. We need to advocate for better infrastructure, ensuring every resident thrives in our diverse community. Progress can only be sustainable if we're responsible about the growth that we are envisioning. We need to preserve and harness our resources. We need to foster economic vitality without sacrificing our generation's needs. I do have a bachelor's in business administration. I am an executive director for a nonprofit business. We deal with sexual assault. So the needs for mental health, the needs for crisis intervention is there. I see it. I experience it. I've seen it. And we definitely need to make sure that every voice in our county is heard and vouched for. Vote for Blanche Barajas. We do definitely need the change, and we need to be fiscally responsible, transparent, and accountable for past actions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Again, thank you to Rocky and Blanche. We appreciate both of you taking the time with us for the Tri-City Regional Chambers 2024 Candidate Forum, featuring candidates running for Franklin County Commissioner position number 2. As we begin the countdown to Election Day, please remind your friends in the Tri-Cities to watch, share, and get out the vote. You can find this video and other candidate forum videos on the Tri-City Regional Chamber website. That is at www.tricityregionalchamber.com. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you to both candidates for participating. It is a pleasure for Apple Valley News Now to support this effort to inform voters about the people who are running for local public office. Again, thank you to the chamber, the candidates, and a special thanks to all of you for watching. This is Austin Reed with Apple Valley News Now, reminding you to get out and vote.